Thanks for taking the time, Mike. We're excited to chat with you.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, great speaking with you. I was a big fan of Block Island Sound and was very happy to see you guys had something at South by Southwest this year. So,
Oh, thanks.
how are you both doing today?
We're good, man. We just got into Austin yesterday, got the whole team here, and yeah, we're just excited. I mean, this is our first film went to South by in 2012, so it's been a little while, and it's so exciting just to be back, and we're really excited to be with a crowd for this one.
Yeah, especially Block Island premiered during COVID. So no theatrical experience for that one. So you make this movie to watch with an audience, then it goes out on the streaming, which is great. But we're excited to be with the real theater. It's gonna be fun.
So, my first question is very dumb, but there are a couple of scenes in Redux Redux that take place at a fat burger. So, I have to know what's your favorite fast food burger, and is it fast burger, or was that just completely separate?
You're really putting us on the spot.
No,
I think this
I do the tough questions.
You really listen. I mean, Fatburger would be dismayed if we didn't say the Fatburger was our favorite burger.
It's a great burger. We did like the top of the line chef making them for us.
It was the guy who did like the commercials.
Yeah.
So he would design them all to make them look amazing for the set. And I went up to him and I was like, "Any chance you'd like make me one of those on the side?" And so I had like a commercial quality cheeseburger, which was really extraordinary. I would say that particular cheeseburger is the best one I've had.
I bet that sounds amazing, and I really love the movie. It is about the multiverse, which is a pretty hot concept right now. How did you go writing about this story? I guess it's sort of a chicken or the egg scenario. Did you want to write something about the multiverse, or did you have this idea for like this thriller about revenge that just so happened to involve something a lot of people are doing right now?
Yeah, it's so funny, man. Like when we've had this idea for a long time. It's been a script for a long time. Went through the kind of like studio route, trying to get it attached and kind of development hell, and eventually made it ourselves. So the truth is that when we wrote this, the multiverse was just not something people were talking about at all. And we were like, we're gonna have to explain what this is to a general audience because a lot of people aren't gonna really get it, you know? And so there was this whole like voiceover sequence while Irene's going through all of her tools in the very beginning of the scene. And then we're like, we don't need this at all. Everybody knows exactly what this is, you know?
Beat the audience over the head with it. And we're like, actually, we can take all of this out, which is such honestly kind of a gift of the multiverse becoming such a more known quantity, is that now you can actually strip so much of that out of there and let the audience figure it out as they're going along without being lost, you know, which was kind of a nice gift of it becoming so popular.
Love that about the beginning of the film where it's not explained. She just goes in the, I don't know, the metal box, and then she ends up in like it's the same people, and it's like, okay, yeah, multiverse. I get this.
yeah, totally.
Were there any movies you look toward as inspiration, seeing as it involves multiverse? But there's sort of this, I don't know, like Groundhog Day element where she's kind of repeating, even though it's different realities. Just what films were an inspiration to you?
You know, I think our North Star for feature films, our favorite is the original Terminator, 1984. And it is, there's something about it that with this movie, we got so excited with the idea of doing something that was somewhat similar in tone. And I think it's what made us really want to shoot in Los Angeles, you know, is to try and get a little bit of the same vibe that you get from that original Terminator film. But there's so many great films that we watched before making this one with the eye on what are other great LA crime stories, LA noir stories. You know, we watched a lot of Drive before it as well. And then it was so fun being actually shooting the film and shooting in some of the same exact locations that some of these movies were actually shot in. You know, we shot at the same hotel and the same diner that they shot Drive at. So it's really an exciting thing to take some of those inspirations and then try to really draft off of, you know, some of these kind of hallowed grounds that they shot on.
You know, another one that we'd also talked about a lot was Blue Ruin. And what I love about Blue Ruin is it's a perfect movie, but it's also, you're just watching this guy do his process, and the audience is so rewarded by being engaged with what you're seeing the protagonist do. And, you know, the first 15 minutes of this movie, it's a similar kind of thing where you're just kind of asking the audience to stay engaged and discover through watching her do her process. And so, yeah, I think that was another one that we constantly go back to and think, oh, I want to pull some, steal some more stuff from them, you know.
Irene travels to several different universes. There's even a line about like how they're all roughly the same. What's the minor differences? At any point during the screenwriting process, was there a draft where she went to like a vastly different universe, or how important was it that like she's pretty much in the same universe every time?
Yeah, it was important to kind of keep it very similar. So there are mentions in the script of those small changes. So the coffee mug color changes, and that's it. That's the only thing you get in that universe. Or when you're looking through some of her belongings, you see some of the money is a little bit different, but barely noticeable. And it was sort of this way of saying, can we take the multiverse genre and just kind of flip it on its head? That if there is an infinite amount of universes, well, then a lot of these changes are going to be infinitely small. And it's going to be hard to find those changes that are so drastically different. And can you, by virtue of that now, tell a story that is just very personal to our characters? So it was kind of exciting to take it and kind of not chase the shiny object of wildly different worlds and then try and just do something that's really kind of internal and personalized.
You both worked on two shows I absolutely love, American Vandal and Cobra Kai, which feel very different tonally from this film and Block Island Sound. What was the most important thing you learned in those writer rooms that have benefited you now working in features?
That's a great question. I mean, yeah, those were joys to work on. At American Vandal, we got to work with some of our closest collaborators on that one. And, I think that the whole TV writing process, what it teaches you is you're collaborating with a big group of people. And when you're first starting out, like our first film and, everything we're trying to do right at the gate, you can be sort of precious about, oh, this is the idea I had, and I really wanted to stick to that idea. And then when you go into a writer's room, you discover, actually, there's way more than one way to make a scene that you're going to love or a story you're going to love. And so there's a beautiful freedom that comes from being TV writers. And I think that is been so helpful going into everything else. But yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest thing for us as we've shifted in our careers and doing these features now.
Redux Redux is the first film under Mothership Motion Pictures, more artist-driven films. Can you tell me anything about other Mothership projects coming down the pipeline, or just what you guys have next? Are you taking a break after working on this? You just need some time to yourselves?
We're planning on getting right back into it. So it's this company Mothership is a company we started with, again, some of our really close collaborators. These are the team behind Mothership are all guys that we had made our first feature with back in 2010 together. And they all went off to, become pros in their respective fields. And now we're all coming back together again to create this production company. So the plan is to keep shooting films. We have a slate of films we want to keep going after. We have another one that we're planning on shooting later this year. So yeah, we're planning really starting to gear up even more for Mothership. Excited about it.
And the company is growing fast, which is a good feeling. So yeah, we're just gonna keep going. We got a few other ones. I'm not sure how much we're allowed to talk about them yet, but some of their stuff lined up for the fall. So yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, we're gonna keep going.
Any comedies in the future? Get back to those American Vandal roots, or sticking with horror maybe?
I mean, I think a lot of it is going to be like really genre based. We love genre stuff, but what's fun is the next one we want to do is going to be a real blending. So it's going to be more of like a true horror film, but then it's going to have these opportunities for comedy between those, kind of brutal set pieces. And so I think it's going to have some real, American Vandal kind of Cobra Kai influence. Yeah, we're really excited about it.
Yeah, kind of our favorite thing with horror. And in which genre in general, it's just trying to keep it fun, right? And trying to keep it rewatchable. I think like that, any movie should have that goal of sort of back in the day when you'd flip through the channels and you see a movie on and go, I always finish that movie when I see it on. So it's like, that's, I think, the pie in the sky. And there are plenty of ways to do that, whether or not it's with set pieces or whether or not it's with great comedy that you want to watch again to pick up on a joke that was layered in there.
Well, I did have a lot of fun watching Redux Redux. Can't wait for everyone else to see it. I hope to catch it again at South, hopefully. But again, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, this is great, man. Yeah, thanks so much for taking the time, and thanks for watching it, man. I really appreciate it.